Gallifrey has never really had much going for it since 2005. It had a bit of intrigue in season 1, but when all that's interesting about you is that you're dead, you might have a problem. Even though Ross C. Davis didn't find Gallifrey that interesting to explore, he still laid out a story that Moffat continued that gave something new with the ramifications of the Time War, putting Gallifrey in an interesting position. This empire, this species that saw itself better than everyone else, was now in tatters. They had to start from the ground up. Series 8 mildly touched on finding Gallifrey, with Series 9 being the grand return, only for the story's focus to be split between Clara and Gallifrey itself. Okay, maybe Moffat wasn't ready to tackle Gallifrey, but then Season 10 also showed no signs of going forward with the plot. So comes Chibnall, with a new outlook on Who. Season 11 was a no-show, but fair enough, it was a reboot season. Then came Series 12. What new and exciting things would he bring? Dead. Again. With less effect and explanation, Gallifrey is gone, forgotten. No one cares about the Doctor's home planet they grew up on. Or should this be Gallifrey's fate? Constantly in the background or demolished? Maybe with a new era, we can actually do something exciting with this planet the Doctor calls home. Side note here, what's your thoughts on Gallifrey? Do you see it as a waste of time, waste of potential, or are you kind of happy with its current state? Comment below so we can discuss where you would take Gallifrey next. Now, originally when I thought about what should be done with Gallifrey, it was more of a what should be done with it in Series 12. I've basically kept the same idea because I'm not creative enough to think of something different, but a concept that should still work with the current state of Who. That concept being a Gallifreyan civil war. So when it comes to a war, particularly a civil one, you probably need people to exist in the first place. And seeing as the Master apparently wiped out everyone, it always seems like this can't work. But if I'm honest, the Master killing everyone on the planet never felt like a good idea. More feeling like Chibnall not wanting to deal with the scope of Gallifrey and its people in the Timeless Child arc. So it's an easy fix. The Master lied. Just like in Series 8, they killed a lot of the ones currently in charge, maybe a load of the guards, but the civilians of the planet were told to evacuate because of an unknown emergency. The basic setup for this idea is we find Gallifrey again, a wasteland. The population return not knowing what the future holds. The surviving government is trying to put on a strong face, but unrest is growing. They need a saviour, and that saviour comes in the form of a mysterious Gallifreyan that says they know the truth about Gallifrey's past, and are going to reveal all. Now originally, I was just going to make this person the Master, as it makes the most sense considering what we know now. However, I did just make a video on how the Master among others have been overused, so I think crafting a new Gallifreyan for the Doctor to face off against could be interesting. I would have them be a more methodical villain, that's always a step ahead, doesn't like to get their hands dirty when compared to the Master. But anyway, onto the different sides of this fight. First we have the old leaders, the ones left standing after the Master's massacre. They are trying to hold on to their power, but change is coming. So who are their followers? They are mostly filled with the ones who are scared of change, the ones that are unsure of who to trust. So you might as well stick with what you had. In addition, there will be people that benefited from how the old regime worked, and don't want to let go of their status. On another side, we have the group being led by a mysterious Gallifreyan, who we shall call Derek. I'm not good with names. But they can be the rebel bunch. After being lied to after continuous attacks, they are tired. The old ways are over. Gallifrey deserves better, it needs better. And they're the ones to provide that better tomorrow. And they are willing to obtain that by any means necessary. Those means could lead to possible corruption or backstabbing, which does put this group in the morally grey. Now the last group is an interesting one, as in a way they are led by the Doctor, they worship them. After the history of Gallifrey is made public, some can't help but see the Doctor as the chosen one, the one who should rule Gallifrey. They started it after all. The Doctor obviously wants nothing to do with that sort of title, but this does seem to be the only group they can turn to. This group can mostly be seen as peaceful, thanks to the Doctor, and stop Gallifrey from descending into utter chaos. However, I think there should be a few fanatics that see those that stand against their god as pure evil that needs to be disposed of. I think this offers the Doctor a nice headache on top of the ongoing battle. So each side tries to gain control over Gallifrey, maybe through past artifacts, promises of a better life under their rule, or through force. You can get a load of action in there, some great conflict for the Doctor. Do they use these people that see them as a godlike figure to achieve their goals? Sort of similar to what the Master proposed in Series A of giving the Doctor an army to settle the score across the galaxy. Does the Doctor lose himself in this battle, regressing into the War Doctor state, or buying into this godlike imagery? You could use a companion to bring them back down to Earth. It also gives us the prolonged exposure to Gallifrey. Are these people even worth saving? What are they like? Maybe they were never special in the first place, and are like everyone else, normal. But how could this all end? What's the endgame? Besides the battling, there are losses on both sides, and the Doctor's starting to wonder, how could this possibly end? Unknown to them, Derek, their trustees, and the government are proposing an alliance. Like I said, the rebel group could lead to a lot of corruption, and I see the main leaders ending up in an animal farm situation, when they end up becoming as bad as the ones before them. The two opposing sides come to the agreement that the Doctor is the main factor here. Their untapped potential. What more could they learn if they were captured? They decide to take the Doctor, using the promise of regenerations for the whole planet to turn everyone against him, when in reality they plan to kill everyone who stood by the Doctor. You can have the Judas betray the Doc as the rest stand by. Have the Doc handed to our villains to be experimented on for the rest of time. This is why I would have Gallifrey have a change of hearts, maybe down to a companion or because of the Doctor's influence. Have this all be the moment of redemption for the people. They thrived as a result of using the Timeless Child. Now have them unite to save them. A revolt is led and our heroes are victorious. The African Co can be exiled. Because I think it would be cool to have a bunch of Gallifreyans out there that just hate the Doctor. Maybe have them team up with Razalon, do some shady villain stuff. Maybe they create a new Gallifrey or something to turn against the old Gallifrey, whatever you like. Either way, this story could leave Gallifrey in a real positive place. Have the Doctor depart again, but not running away during the night, but with a blessing from the place they still call home. Russell T Davies revealed he considered blowing up New York in a stolen planet, with Martha being the sole survivor, but quickly decided against it because the ramifications for the future seasons would be too great. I think it's time the show starts to see Gallifrey as a sort of Earth, a place the Doctor is very passionate about, but the writers don't have to worry about the ramifications like they would with Earth. This story allows Gallifrey to be a bit more free, and after 18 years of doom and gloom, it is time to show this planet the light. Thanks for watching what I believe could be done with Gallifrey. Share your thoughts on the Gallifreyan Civil War. Is it silly, or is there a simpler way to reboot the planet? Comment your thoughts and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. We've been the Overall Nerds, and peace.